So we're going into our next matchup now, which is going to be the return of RZA and his Dark Side / Red Hood versus InspectahChoz. Now, I'm going to be honest, we have seen, even after the week InspectahChoz qualified, very little of InspectahChoz. He's a Russian player, and he played really well, very dominant, and an understanding of how Atrocitus worked back then, where he went in for, he was using those corner loops. He actually at one point did try and combo off the grab, because at the time it worked. So clearly, like, you know, he was understanding of the tech that Atrocitus had back then. Atrocitus is very much a different character now, and we've not seen a huge amount of gameplay from him. So we're not actually sure if he's going to stick with Atrocitus, because by all means he could have changed character from week 4 to now. Anything is possible in about sort of the 2.5 months we've had. We've already seen RZA though, and RZA looked really strong. He just fought FKL. There was a 3-2 victory. He won a couple of games as Dark Side, but in the final match gave him the Red Hood mirror. Now, again, Dark Side and Red Hood versus Atrocitus. You seem to sort of, I know we've actually had conversations outside of the show, but you kind of feel like Red Hood does quite well versus Atrocitus.
I mean, especially post-patch, a big part of it is Red Hood. Just meter building is one of the best things he does, right? He builds bar a lot better than a lot of characters. He has guaranteed punishes on Puddle from multiple ranges. Like literally, no matter where you block Puddle, you can do a trait gunshot. From closer, you can sort of go towards forward dive, sort of, you know, roar back 3 punishes. He does a really good job at stopping that neutral, and that's really where Red Hood thrives, is he can really get a lot of projectiles on the screen. He can build as much bar as possible, but the big thing is the meter, because post-patch now, push blocking against Atrocitus Cat is the big one. And Atrocitus before, you know, we decided to go for, I'm going to pop a shield, I'm going to shoot an orb, and I'm just going to run in with it. If Atrocitus does that, and you push block him as soon as you block anything whatsoever, he's basically lost his entire trait. And without trait, it's really hard for Atrocitus to advance in on Red Hood. So I think if RZA goes for Red Hood and plays it patiently, he can have a lot more of an easier time. But then again, Atrocitus Dark Side, I mean, we don't see that very often at all, because Dark Side players are starting to become less and less prominent, but at the same time, the good Dark Side players are really successful for that reason, whereas Atrocitus, I mean, you said it yourself, right? We haven't seen InspectahChoz play since the week he qualified. Like, I've not seen him play a single match since then and now, so I have no idea if he's even still playing Atrocitus.
So, Jim, I mean, the community is kind of divided. Now, while these guys go into character set, the community is quite divided on Atrocitus. Some people think that he's, you know, still very, very strong, and others don't. While these guys prepare, and it looks like it's going to be, that is a violent-looking Atrocitus. Oh, my days! He looks like a mountain, like a literal mountain.
That's the tournament shader. You know, shoutouts to the tournament shader. If you guys want to support competitive injustice too, pick up the tournament shader and help fund competition for a while. And the tournament shader is how you do it. It looks good. I mean, just look at that. Look at that Atrocitus. He is gold and black. That yellow symbol.
Creativity. Now, Adam, while these guys prepare, what do you think of Atrocitus in the current patch? Do you reckon he's decent? I think a lot of people sort of consider him quite strong.
Yeah, I mean, he still maintained a lot of the things that made him good beforehand. He still has a good advance in strings. The breath is an excellent neutral tool, and he still has that, even though it's punishable, the threat with a low puddle is still a threat.
Something you have to worry about for sure. See what happens. They look so similar. Immediately in with the Dexstar call, InspectahChoz showing us that he's not afraid to call it in the neutral. I think that's going to be quite important data going in. And no fear on the low, still dedicating to that option. There's that restand. Oh, but RZA's going to disrespect it and eat a lot of damage in the process. Look at the amount of life that RZA's already losing, though. Wow, trying to challenge for down 1. This has been a fantastic start. I know 1-1-1 actually is, I believe it's slightly plus on block. I could be wrong. Oh, there's the 2-bar sequence. Corner repositioning into setup. Oh, but he gets hit. Let's go of the minion a little bit too early. Yeah, actually, I think in many ways, I think he let go of the minion too late. Allowed him to take that damage. And that's one of the things about Dark Side. If you get hit while your minion is out, the minion will hightail it out of there. Commanding lead coming out from InspectahChoz already, though. A lot of bar behind him, too, for RZA, quite starved for resources at the moment, just trying to desperately build some back. But the raw puddle, that's going to be it. Has to go in for the forward 2 because the back 3 won't quite reach. Anything to guarantee, but hang on. The forward 3 to power through. Dexstar is going to be down for so long here. Half of it gone already. Well, there's the call. All of this damage is going to be good for RZA as long as he can take no damage in the process. But as I've said that, here comes the puddle. Forward 3 into a full combo. Misses the back 2 though, leaving him alive ever so slightly. RZA challenging him, not meter burning the wake up, but unfortunately gets hit again. Oh, goes the double forward 3, doesn't want to let RZA clash. And again, trying to blow through. Wow, missed completely. I don't even know what happened there. I think threaded the needle a little bit. Big punch flow coming through. Clash on the side of RZA, but still going to be so down on life after this. So if you're RZA in this situation, I think what you very much need to do is go, well, it's still possible to win because he got a little bit of life back, but against a Dexstar, he needs to really sort of be thinking about what he's going to do in the next game, I think.
Still, though, if he can make the comeback, that'd be a really good momentum shift. But no, that teleport's going to get eaten up for free. InspectahChoz just playing that ground game a lot better.
A lot of that came down to a really bad start. Like, RZA just could not get anything going in that first sort of round. He took so much damage. By the time he was able to sort of get the wheels turning, he already had a bit of a mountain to climb with the amount of health he had to sort of come back against.
But that can be a regular thing in Injustice, right? Just with the way the life bars work. It's not a traditional round 1, round 2, round 3. It's you have 2 life bars, you know, and it's up to you what you do with those. You know, if you have a bad start, it can come back to bite you at the end, or you know, vice versa. If you have a great start, it can be really hard for your opponent to make that comeback. But RZA going in for Red Hood, I definitely like this decision a little bit more. I think that Red Hood is really powerful on the ground, which is kind of where InspectahChoz is getting a lot of his damage from. And all the stuff that InspectahChoz is doing, Red Hood has a few answers for.
Well, we'll soon see whether this character change is going to be successful, but already nice. Waiting for the down 1, actually, a nice whiff punish.
Oh, crashes under the orb. There we go. There's the meter burn straight away. Oh, drops the corner combo, but still a nice life lead.
Yeah, not quite sure what he tried to go for there.
So
either way, from one bad start to someone else, right now it's Inspectah's in the corner, has had a really hard time dealing with this pressure.
Oh, I really like that tech, using the siphon.
But the important thing now is that the siphon now has its meter burn extension. And no, challenged! It disappears! Unfortunate, he puts all that work in. You can actually meter burn that blood drain, and you get an extra blast, and it is actually plus on block.
Oh wow, that was either a great... Oh no, goes to the puddle! Atrocitus can actually punish both of those trait overhead and low with the punch float. So if he does block it correctly, he can get a guaranteed punish on it, but InspectahChoz going for a lift instead.
I'm assuming he tried to go for a quick normal interlift and just mistimed it. Here we go, the repositioning. He's going to guarantee Dexter. Now this is where the comeback might be made.
Oh, catches the sweep. I think RZA maybe tried to go for a dive there. Oh, nice combo.
There's the conversion. That's going to be plus on block and guarantee more plus frames. Doesn't seal the deal, but the back 2 catches him anyway. RZA has his back to the wall now. He's in a bit of danger.
That was really nice composure from InspectahChoz. That was a massive life deficit he had, but an early clash. Probably going to get some guaranteed life here. The thing is RZA going to spend any bar to stop him, or at least try and slow it down? Most likely not, no?
Yeah, it's no surprise he didn't spend anything, because he wasn't going to really sort of get more than 15% back anyway.
Oh, that's a clean punish. Wow, nice full screen confirm without spending an extra bar.
That's a full hit confirmed. Forward 1-2 comes through. Another meter burn back 3. At this stage now, though, he hasn't got any clash available. Any damage he takes here is guaranteed, but the whip punish back 2-3 connects.
RZA does not have, well, only just built the bar, so wasn't able to clash there before.
But he spent it on his wake up. Now he's in big trouble. Oh no, I just don't think he was ready for it to connect, but he is going to be ready for that. And now, I mean, keep things unclashable. RZA, he has to try so hard to get out of the corner.
Seems InspectahChoz doesn't want to overcommit here. That's block damage. Is that going to do enough? He has the bar.
He didn't backdash the meter burn. I wonder why.
It might not have worked in the corner. It might have been a bit more difficult, but as soon as RZA found himself back to the wall, InspectahChoz, I mean, InspectahChoz has clearly been playing Atrocitus this whole time, but he has some tech that I've not really seen used quite so well. I mean, the big thing is the Blood Siphon, right? He's getting a lot of mileage out of that in comparison to other Atrocitus players we've seen before. But even now, I mean, this is just a very tidy Atrocitus.
Well, the thing is, he's actually had that Blood Siphon drain, and when you charge it for an X amount of time, you can then meter burn it for a blast that launches on hit, and it's plus on block as well. In many ways, it's a mix-up that has existed since we saw Atrocitus. It's just that now Dexter is not as foolproof as it once was. I feel like using other elements of his toolkit is a bit more necessary. And when you've got trait activated, you can guarantee the Blood Siphon, and it's going to give him an extra element of mix-up that people aren't quite used to dealing with.
So InspectahChoz potentially looking at a 3-0 over RZA right now, unless RZA can make something happen. Playing a lot better now on this Red Hood, but still, InspectahChoz is definitely getting one over on him at the moment.
Now again, tagged by that mix-up. If you block the overhead, you can crouch the Blood Breath, but right now, Inspectah hasn't even been interested in going for it.
Backdash. RZA a little bit late trying to chase it down, but still going to get some chip damage.
Now there's that dive. Chase down the backdash in other ways. We may see that more throughout the course of this series.
If he nice anti-air, swift.
Back 3. Ooh, nice reposition as well, safely guaranteeing Dexter.
Yeah, just squeezing out every little hit that he can. Oh, RZA going to walk into the ball. On the Blood Siphon, I like it. He goes into it, trying to bait you to press a button to whiff punish it, and then the shield comes through.
But now Dexter is gone, and he's going to have access to the charge. Oh, the
nice
parry!
Oh, that's going to hurt too as well.
Wow, that
200
did big damage. That did so much damage, but unfortunately, hit by a puddle again. RZA is on the verge of getting hit by that hot 3-0.
RZA trying to build as much bar as possible here, but no. Back to the wall. Forward dash. Oh, still alive. Akimbo, not quite enough damage.
No!
And there's a puddle to punish it. InspectahChoz with the knowledge. Freestand. What does RZA do here?
He put so much into... Oh, no. He put so much into trying to steal that round. It cost him so much bars of meter. He's only just been able to do it. And, well, now he's in a bit of danger.
Uh-oh. Interactable coming through. Going to give him a free cat summon. And RZA has just spent his only bar. Well, that's going to be it. That's going to be a restand. But what's the mix going to be? He could end on this.
I don't think he wanted to continue the combo. He wanted to leave things unclashable. Now RZA, he needs to make the comeback happen. He needs to do it right now. The problem is Inspector just, I was about to say, the clash gives him that sort of get out of danger card that he needed.
I mean, Clash thoroughly is a bit of a, you're not allowed to make this comeback kind of mechanic, right? If you manage to get some hits on him and he still has it, you can just reset that neutral situation. But once again, RZA can make this work. Well, there's the block. Charles with the patience. There's the wake up. Because he wants to end this. Oh, and there's the whiff punish. InspectahChoz, no, the clash!
Well, now he's in a precarious position because if he blocks a puddle, he's going to die. And no, he has to save the bar. And now I don't think...
If he, oh, wow. I was just about to say, if he gets the Blood Siphon, even that alone is going to do it. But Atrocitus, when he has that clash available, so many ways to do as much damage to you as possible. And we're going to see. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't sure what to make of InspectahChoz because we haven't seen him play in a while. The week he won was really strong because he beat RZA. He beat Flet, who is a really good Russian Scarecrow player. But we hadn't seen him between then and now, so I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what character to expect. We kind of had an assumption he was going to stick with Atrocitus, but because I haven't actually seen him play, I wasn't really sure what to make of it. But looking so tidy.
We saw more than Atrocitus, though. We saw a next level Atrocitus. We saw modern tech, stuff that has existed very recently or come out of the woodwork very recently. And he's clearly been doing his homework. You know, it looks very much like he's been using Atrocitus the whole time, which we didn't expect. We didn't really know what we were going to see, but looks very much like Choz has been practicing that character for this tournament. Now, Jim, Atrocitus post-patch, we just talked about how people are kind of divided on this character. What was it there that we saw Inspector do with Atrocitus that just made the character still continue to look as dangerous as he always has been?
Well, everyone kind of talks about the trait being used to force mix-ups onto your opponent with low risk, high reward. But what we saw there was just the trait used for space control, and he would get the trait out and he would push him to the corner, and then he'd use that corner, denying his opponent the ability to walk backwards to whiff punish or pressure him, and then get the life lead from that and then go back to playing safe and waiting for his cat again.
It just looks so intimidating, right? I mean, it was some of the newer tech in terms of, you know, going for Blood Siphon and using the Dexstar shield to really bait them into trying to whiff punish, but not even just that, right? Like different full screen hit confirms, good use of unclashable damage.
He didn't even need the meter burn blast on that Blood Siphon. The Siphon existed just to increase the damage over time effect of his block pressure. And if he built the meter burn, so be it. But if he didn't, like right there, that 1-1-1, there's so much pushback. If you press a button as he does that back too, it's gonna whiff punish. Like, it was a nice display of just solid and strong footsies.